Good morning, everyone. This is the day the Lord hath made, and isn't it a beautiful one? Let's lift our voices in song and rejoice. Sunday morning, and here we are, coming together from near and far. We're unity, a home for you and for me. I've got family waiting for me every Sunday. I'm glad to see we're unity, home for you and for me. My, we're so happy it's Sunday. This is our very own Unity Day. We're here where we belong with all of our family. We're unity, a home for you and for me. Sun is shining and I am too. I feel so happy. How about you? We're unity, a home for you and for me. We're so grateful that love abounds with our brothers and sisters all around. We're unity, a home for you and for me. Oh yeah. My, we're so happy it's Sunday. This is our very own Unity Day. We're here where we belong with all of our family. We're unity, a home for you and for me. We're unity, a home for you and me.
Are we on now? Okay. Thank you, Jim, for that wonderful song. We always love to hear that one in the morning on Unity Days. Good morning. And welcome home to Unity of London here at 501 Nelson Street. Welcome back to all our longtime members, our returning guests, and first-timers, and all the people watching us now on Zoom, and those who will watch us later on YouTube. The month of September is power is divine order. Grow in order by cooperating with spiritual law. The color is deep green and is located at the navel. The apostle is James, son of Alphaeus. He represents the harmony and balance available through centering our awareness. The affirmation is, my life is balanced and in order, and in all is well. Would you like to repeat that with me? My life is balanced and in order, and all is well. At Unity of London, we celebrate the spirit of abundance, life, and love in our community as we grow together. We learn the joys of giving as well as receiving from each other. And here at Unity of London, we have the 5 principles, if you would like to read them with me. Number 1, God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. Number 2, I am naturally good because God's divinity is within me and in everyone. Number 3, I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. Number 4, through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. And number 5, I do my best by living the truth I know. I make a difference. And how do we make a difference? By being the change you want to see in the world, as Gandhi said. And we coexist by providing fellowship and education for spiritual seekers of all walks of life. We have many book studies, courses, and activities that are taking place, and we can all enjoy those. The next thing we have is another song by Jim.
Thanks, Katie. I have to ask your indulgence for this song this morning, and there's a reason. I'll tell you very, very quickly, and then we'll do the song. I just finished this song about 10 minutes ago. Seriously, standing here, I'm still trying to figure it out. Yesterday, I was out with an acquaintance of mine, and we had a chat, and he's having some very tough times. And so we were talking about, I mean, I'm no fount of wisdom, but he asked me if I had any insights into what he could do. He just feels abandoned by his friends, and his family is kind of indifferent to him. And he's my age, he's in his mid-70s, and he's just kind of alienated. And I said, I really don't have any advice for you, except for one thing that my dad used to tell me. He says, when you're feeling bad, remember, you can always be your own best friend. When you're feeling alone and lost, there's still a friend there right with you. And so that was the end of that. And then last night, I woke up in the middle of the night with the Charlie horse and got up, and I'm dancing around trying to get rid of it. And I went to the fridge and got a spoonful of mustard because somebody told me that would work. I don't know if it worked or not. But anyway, as I'm dancing around, suddenly, and we've talked about this before, this song fell into my head. Just boom, there it was. Now, I'm half asleep, and I don't want to wake up. Because I did 2 jobs yesterday. I did a job on Friday and Thursday, and I was exhausted, and I wanted to be able to get here this morning. I don't want to wake up, but I can't let this go. So I ran to the computer, and I dashed down the verse and the chorus, because that's all I had, and I'm stuck. And I said, well, I'm not going to wake up and finish this. I'll get up tomorrow morning. So I set the alarm, got up this morning, worked on it, finished it, and here it is. And as I said, I literally put the finishing, well, we'll see if they're the finishing touches or not, less than 10 minutes ago. Have to get it back in my head now how it goes. Everybody needs a person who's a friend. Boys, girls, women and men. When you're in need, there is a friend indeed. Someone who'll be with you till the end. Sometimes friends are hard to find, ones who care and are compassionate and kind. But there's a one that's always near, and you can find them in your mirror. When you really need them, they are just likely to appear, 'cause you can always be your own best friend, the one that will be there through thick and thin. When you're feeling up or down and there's nobody else around, you can always be your best friend. Friend will listen when you're feeling low. A friend will care about you, don't you know? A friend will always notice when you're down, and help you make a smile from a frown. Will you do the same for any friend of yours? There's no reason not to do the same for you. When you need someone who cares, there's somebody standing there, and you know just what exactly you should do. You can always be your own best friend, one who'll be there through thick and thin. Whether you're feeling up or down, there's nobody else around. You can always be your own best friend. back. Who cares enough to cut you a little bit of slack? You can find your hand or kick your butt. Not too much, but just enough. That's the kind of friend we all should have. I hope this little ditty won't suggest there's any kind of friend that is the best. But when you're feeling lost and on your own, there's always an alternative to take you home. You can always be your own best friend, one that'll be there through thick and thin. Where you're feeling up or down and there's nobody else around, you can always be your own best friend. Be a friend who will remind you that you're nice and help you up if life gives you a shove. Forgive your little sins, 'cause understanding always wins. Who better to believe in you and back you up with love? Well, it's nice to have a lot of friends, but there's only one who'll be there at the very, very end. So never overlook what you can bring, 'cause backed by such a friend, you can do most anything. You can always be your own best friend, the one that will be there through thick and thin. Whether you're feeling up or down and there's nobody else around, you can always be your own best friend. Yes, always be your own best friend. You're lost and lonely, you can always be your own best friend.
Thank you, Jim, for that truly inspiring song. Really enjoyed that. Now, Unity was formed on prayer. Silent Unity started over 130 years ago by our co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore, who used to reply to prayer requests by handwritten letters, later by a team of typists, and now we can call 1-800-NOW-PRAY and receive one-on-one prayer 24/7, 365 days a year, and online. Here at 501 Nelson Street, we have a prayer box at the front of the sanctuary where you can put the first name of the person you wish to pray for on a slip of paper, like this. Or if we don't have any up there, you can just use a piece of paper and just put the first name on it, because God knows all about it. Then the prayer requests are prayed over by our prayer chaplains for 30 days, and then are sent on to Silent Unity for 30 more days of prayer. Today you can pray with Pauline after the service in our prayer room, or she'll be wearing a prayer stole. She'll be happy to pray with you in either the small prayer room at the top of the orange stairs beyond the fellowship room, or the front new prayer room at the front of the building. Rather than have our PCs sit alone, we prefer that prayer chaplains sit alone. We would prefer that they stay accessible and able to enjoy fellowship, so they'll be sitting in the fellowship room waiting, and if you wish to have prayer, just tap them on the shoulder. Our online prayer chaplain will also be available to pray with anyone online who wishes prayer after service. Just put a request in your chat and we'll arrange a private room for you to pray with Wilda. Now let's go into prayer. If you're comfortable, close your eyes or dim your gaze. Take a deep breath and relax into your chair. Put your feet flat on the floor and ground yourself, your hands facing upward on your lap. As we come together this morning, we are grateful for the opportunity to spend this time with our Unity community. We bless everyone attending spiritual gatherings, knowing that there are many paths to the one God. We bless all those watching on Zoom at home and those who will watch us later on YouTube. This month, we hold in prayer Unity Ministry in Motion and unity.org. Today, as we pray, we are grateful for this time together. We go into our heart space and center ourselves on God. Take a deep breath and whisper the names of the people in our lives who need prayer. Blessed Spirit, we in this room and on Zoom are one with you. You are our guiding light in the darkness. You are our strength when we don't think we have anything left. You are our faith when we are unsure of the outcome. Thank you, Spirit, for pointing us in the right direction when we are lost, knowing that all we have to do is center ourselves on you. We are blessed and we know that we are loved unconditionally, always. And so it is. Amen. And now I invite up our platform leader, Nancy Youngson, to read the daily word and introduce our speaker.
I was saying before the service, every time I hear the word world peace, I can't forget the scene from Miss Congeniality. So many other things. And world peace. World peace. I bless the world with thoughts of peace. The word shalom is synonymous with the word peace, but it means more than an absence of war and conflict. Shalom, appearing so frequently in the Bible, is also used to affirm wholeness and well-being. True, lasting well-being requires the kind of peace known by living in alignment with God. Anchored in peace, people are less likely to be in conflict and more likely to appreciate that beautiful planet, our Earth, which offers goodness and abundance for all. When I pray for a peaceful world, I pray shalom for myself and for each person of every land to have their needs met, to know lasting well-being for themselves and their families, to live in harmony, and to work towards our common good. From James chapter 3, verse 18, and a harvest of righteousness is sown in peace for those who make peace. And now to introduce our speaker. Reverend Thomas deSchutter is a spiritual leader of Unity of Vancouver and is on the board of Unity Canada. You can find Rev Thomas on Bloom Your Life coaching link. You can look for him at thomasdeSchutter.com, and if you want the spelling, there's a poster in the hall, and you can see it there. Follow him on Insight Timer and also on Instagram. He's the author of Bloom Your Money, Your Life, a common sense guide to building your personal wealth ecosystem. And as his message for us reveals, he believes that everything we want for ourselves and for our lives comes from within. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Thomas deSchutter.
Hello. Hello. It's I haven't been on Zoom in a long time for a gathering, and then to hear applause in a room where I can't see anybody. It's interesting. It's fun. Well, hey, thank you so much for inviting me here this morning. And where I am, I'm on the West Coast. I'm actually the spiritual leader at Unity Vancouver Island, so I'm almost as far west as you can get in Canada. And I was noticing, I think it was Chuck. Yeah, it was Chuck's camera. I was noticing the bright, beautiful, sunny day with the blue skies and thinking, wow, that looks great there. When I woke up this morning here, it's just about 10 to 8. We were in dense fog, and there was no sunny blue sky. So it was nice to see. Thank you so much for sharing that view with me. It was great. Yeah, the inner economy. That's really what order is about. And also today's reading on world peace reminds me of Eric Butterworth. And for those that don't know, Eric Butterworth is, one of Unity's great ministers who served in the 60s, wrote beautifully, and shared a lot of deep, deep truth. And I often think of this idea of world peace and the way Eric Butterworth put it, which was that if we're praying for peace, again, if we're praying for peace, then what we're actually saying is that peace doesn't exist. And the slight little flip he puts on it is that we actually have to embody peace and pray as though peace is already present, because it is. Somewhere in the world there's peace. And if each one of us carries that peace within us, then we are in fact peace. And so it kind of speaks to the idea of Unity's affirmative prayer approach, is to be praying as though the peace already exists, much like when we want to manifest things in our life. We don't necessarily pray for those things, but we pray for them as though they are already done, as if we already have use of them now, as if it exists in our life today. And whether that's something that we're looking for in terms of financial success or community success or more love in our life or more peace in our life, it's the embodiment of knowing that it already exists within us, that we carry that forward. We actually embody that very thing. And there's a great passage in the Bible that reflects this, which is the moving of the mountain, where I think it's in Mark 11, where Jesus is telling us as the example that whoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou taken up and cast into the sea, with no doubt in their heart, then this is what's possible. And really, what metaphysically, what that's telling us is that we hold the key. We hold the key to something as great as moving that mountain. And the mountain is not the physical mountain that's in front of us, although I will say this. Back in 2023, when I was ordained, I decided that I would motorcycle from Vancouver Island, where I live, all the way to Missouri, and then motorcycle home. And that was sort of like my pilgrimage, that I would learn valuable things about myself. And so I arranged for my family to fly to Unity Village and fly home, while I went off on a motorcycle journey that was about 7,000 miles and took me 18 days of riding. And on my way home, I was in Colorado, and you might be familiar with the $1 Million Highway that was built somewhere back in I think the late 60s, early 70s. And it is literally the moving of a mountain, or parts of it anyhow. And so we can actually see that even though back then, when Jesus gave us these words of, he was speaking metaphysically of whatever obstacle might be in our way, whatever thing we might be hanging on to that is stopping us, we need that faith in order to move it. We can actually move a mountain because I've seen it. Like, that highway is unbelievable in terms of engineering. And I remember, I was riding up, it was a beautiful sunny day, and it was these steep, steep, steep hills that I was going up, and the cliff, the ledge was right there, and it was just a deep dive down. And I still have visual moments of the feeling of like, this is insane. And it was crazy that I was on a motorcycle going up it, but it was a great joy. So speaking of the inner piece, I have a couple of quotes I want to share with you, if I can actually find them on my sheet. Ah, ah. Sometimes things they get moved on these. Yeah. So here we go. So an eighth century Buddhist monk, Sengsan, is the name. And the teaching is, if you wish to see the truth, then hold no opinions for or against anything. To set up what you like against what you dislike is the disease of the mind. So I'll say that again. If you wish to see the truth, then hold no opinions for or against anything. To set up what you like against what you dislike is the disease of the mind. And I don't know about you, but from my view today in the world, especially here in North America and Western culture and society, there seems to be a lot of us against them thinking. There seems to be a lot of my idea is better than this idea. And there's no real dialogue anymore in a world of sharing, in a desire to actually, using one of our 12 powers to gain an understanding of where somebody is. It's instead, we seem to be falling into this world of constant judgment. And again, my idea is better than their idea. And this idea of pitting us, these things that we like against other things, against one another, is and causes that conflict within us. Imagine if we had no opinion of anything, we could just be with what is. And that's really that practice of Zen. That's really what meditation is leading us to when we step into prayer and meditation, is this idea of being with what is. And it speaks to the inner economy. It speaks to manifesting whatever it is we want in our life, is to be in a place of, again, going back to holding this as if it's already given, and being in a place of full acceptance of what is and whatever comes. Not fighting against it, not living in a disagreement with everything that's going on. So again, if you wish to see the truth, then hold no opinions for or against anything, but to be in a place where this is what is going on right now. I often think of this in terms of the universe, the great unfolding, whatever we want to look at this consciousness as, or this God idea, this big idea of this universe is unfolding and we are co-creators. I often think of it in terms of it's all perfect. It can't make a mistake, because everything that is in the soup, the story of turtle soup where where they're on the beach and they just keep adding stuff to the soup, and whatever you put in there is what you end up with. Well, whatever we have put as humans, our consciousness, our experience here, whatever we have put into the soup is the soup that we have. It can't go any other way. It has to be exactly the way it is, because of all of that energy that is put before it. And this leads to another quote I heard from somebody recently. Fear and anxiety equates to disorder. Love and acceptance equates to order, as it pertains to consciousness. So you can think about this, that if we're living in a state of fighting against what is, so we have fear and anxiety, and we're not in a place of peace within ourselves, the fear and anxiety, those types of emotions, those, if you want to call them lower levels of consciousness, actually bring about disorder into our lives. And the more that we focus on them, and maybe you've experienced this, I know I certainly have. I have certainly had my days of what I would call living in hell, not in heaven, but in actually living in a place of complete disagreement with the world around me. That when you're in those places, it just creates a loop. The cycle just goes around in a circle. There's no order, but there's a lot of chaos. You can think of it as a chaotic state of being. And it's when we bring that love and acceptance into our lives in just little bits. We don't have to take big steps. We just need to take little sips, so to speak, and start to turn that around through acts of kindness, through caring, through sharing, through compassion. We begin to optimize our consciousness. We begin to actually open ourselves up. And I want to reference back to Jim. Thank you so much, Jim, for your opening songs and for writing something as quickly as you did. This idea, and I forget the exact lyrics, but of being our own best friend, right? To create and to have something in our lives, we need to be it. Eric Butterworth said, that the universe doesn't reward effort, it reflects consciousness. So if we want more love in our lives, if we want more connection in our lives, whatever that is, we need to be it first. Again, getting back to that idea of more peace, we need to be the peace. We need to be the thing that we want to see in the world. You are always compensated with your inner state. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your intentions, are all causal. They're not incidental. I mean, that's our 5 principles, right? Live the truth you know is principle number 5. And as Jesus taught us, according to your faith, let it be done to you. These are the truths that excited me about unity. And so I want to go back just a moment into this idea of small steps, doing, small little things, and how they can branch out. So if you can imagine, if you're looking at a clock and both the hour hand and the minute hand are straight up and down right on the 12, that's the path you're on currently, right now. That's where you're at right now today. And if nothing changes, and this isn't an evaluation of good or bad or right or wrong, it's just an idea of what is will continue to unfold. So if you're those 2 hands and you're going straight up, you're just going to continue on the same way. But let's say you made one slight little minor change, just a little tiny degree. So let's say you just started with, I'm going to make a daily affirmation, or I'm going to have a moment of gratitude every day where I just think of one thing I could be grateful for, right? Well, think of that as the minute hand just shifted over to 1 minute. Okay. So now you've got this little gap. And now as you go forward, what happens? The further out you go, the divide widens from where you were to where you are now headed, because of that small little incremental change. So much more can happen. This is like putting law in motion, right? We've actually created a principle for ourselves. We've made a decision. This is how I'm going to live going forward. And now with each passing day, a shift begins to take, it's kind of like this idea of taking seed. A shift begins to take seed and grow from there. So I have an example. It's very timely that this past week, I had a 9th year anniversary. I like framing it that way because many people will think, oh, that 9 years, it must be something, really great that you've overcome. So 9 years ago, on the 17th of September in 2016, I was sitting on the edge of my bed. It was actually a Saturday morning. I still remember it. I can feel it in my bones, and this is before I had discovered Unity. So I only discovered Unity in 2017 and started attending, and very quickly made the decision that, well, something made the decision for me that I wanted to be a minister. However, I'm sitting on the edge of my bed, and I thought to myself, you know, it would be really great if when I got to age 85, I could do 40 push ups. That would probably be a good thing health wise. And as I sat there, I thought, okay, well, I'd read books on habits and on how to do things, and one of the examples was, well, build it backwards. So start at that and look backwards and see, from that age to now, what would I have to do to get success? And all that popped into my head was, well, if I just did them every day, then by the time I get to age 85, I'd just be doing 40 push-ups a day. So why don't I just do them every day? So that began my daily practice of doing 40 push-ups, which I had my 9th-year anniversary of every day. And just for those that love numbers, uh, this includes leap years. So it was actually 3,287 days consecutively. It's a minimum of 40 push-ups. So sometimes I do 41, sometimes I go all the way up to 60, sometimes I do like 43, whatever. It's a minimum of 40. And that means that I've done 131,480 push-ups in that time frame. Now, here's the piece that I didn't expect. I didn't expect this to happen. And let's see if I've got. I do. So in this book, The Power of Habit, which is written by Charles Duhigg, around that same time, I had read this book. And Charles talks about keystone habits. So, you know how New Year's comes and people decide to make this really big change in their life, and I'm going to stop eating all this other stuff, and I'm going to get a gym membership, and I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week for 3 hours a time. And they run out of the gate and they get at it, and then 2 or 3 weeks later it's all over. And Jim talks about this, and he says it's because the change was too big. It was too much for us to handle. We tried to take on too big a step, and we just were so uncomfortable that it overwhelmed us, and it was easier to fall back into the old routines than to continue something like that. So I then saw this play out in my life. So it's, I started doing these push-ups. About 6 weeks later, I get out of the shower and I'm standing in front of the mirror, and I kind of noticed that, my upper body, my pecs area was looking firmer. It was sort of reminding me of the days when I was on the road playing drums every day. And I had my upper body physique was in pretty good shape from all of that, movement and all of that exercise of playing drums on a constant basis. And I saw standing in the mirror, all proud of myself, looking, hey, look at that. That looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. A little smile on my face. And my wife comes into the bedroom, and she walks past the bathroom door and has a glance in and sees me standing there. And then she says to me, she goes, hey, like that, hey kind of way. She says, hey, what you been doing? You're looking pretty good these days. And like, that was it. I was sold. I'm like, I'm doing 40 push-ups every day the rest of my life. No doubt about it. But here's what happened from that. In my brain, I calculated very quickly, you know how we can do that? All of a sudden, these ideas start popping into your head. I realized, like, wow, if 40 push-ups could do that, like, I changed nothing else in my life. There was nothing else that was different other than I added in a discipline of doing 40 push-ups. I thought, what else could be possible? What if I just changed my eating a little bit? What if I more consciously went for longer hikes with my dog and spent more time in nature? And I began to add these little pieces in one at a time into my life. And then unity shows up in my life. And I added daily prayer and meditation into my life. And I added taking time to read wisdom teachings, to focus my attention on things that would elevate my consciousness and my awareness, because there was a gap in my life. I wasn't happy with who I was looking back as a person. I did things that I was not proud of. I responded to people in a way that was not powerful. And so as I added these little pieces into my life, I don't recognize the guy from back then. So much has changed. The entire people in my, like the entire group of people that I spend time with that are my resource for living has completely changed. It's not like that they're bad people that have drifted away, that we've drifted apart from each other. We've just drifted apart. If I see them, it's like, hey, how you doing? All of that is good. But my consciousness, my awareness, my perception of the world has completely shifted. And I can look back and see the little keystone moments where something changed, where I chose to do something new in my life and what that has unfolded to. Now, it's great to stand here and go, hey, 9 years later, I've done 131,000 blah, 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 blah push-ups. But it's taken 9 years to get to this. Now I'm like, I can't not miss a day now. Like that would be crazy to throw away all those days in a row. So it's upon us, bringing this back to Jim's song, where we are our best friend. That's another truth that showed up for me in unity that has helped me to lead. If I want more love in my life, then I have this idea that I just need to love myself so much. And I'm not talking about thinking I'm great and wonderful, but to care and love my life, the fact that I get to live this life. You and I get to be in this life on this planet at the same time. Like, that's incredible. What if I approached my life from that point of view? I love this life so much, I've got to give love away. There's so much of it available in me. I just need to share it. Now, does that mean I'm like, you're going to meet me and think, wow, that guy's a really wonderful guy? Probably not. There's a good chance you might meet me on a not so great day where maybe I'm not living in that vibration. But then I catch myself because I'm training myself to be in that state. Now I can notice when I'm not in that state. You can notice when you're not living your best life. You know it. You don't need anybody else to tell you. And when we don't deal with it, it feels bad. And then we can start that cycle of chaos in our lives, as opposed to catching ourselves, throwing ourselves some forgiveness, some love, some appreciation, and turning that around. And maybe it's just one small little act of kindness. Maybe it's as simple as, I'm in a bad mood today, but I'm at the grocery store and this person is serving me. And you know what? I'm going to say hi to Bob or Ellen or whoever it is because they have their name tag on. I'm just going to say hi and wish them a good day, just to be connected and be human. And maybe that one little piece right there, when you finish and you walk out the door of the grocery shop, your mindset has changed slightly. There's a little bit of a different hip in your step, so to speak. So we have that ability. It's all inner work. It all is generated from within us. Everything that you and I see is our own perception. So we can influence that perception. We can give it purpose and meaning because that's what we do. We give everything purpose and meaning. So we get to choose what that is. We get to speak the words that powerfully shift our own lives. And maybe in that way, maybe through who we're being, we might be the light for somebody else to see what's possible for themselves. And so, with that in mind, I invite you to join me for a little meditation time, for us to focus in within, for us to spend some time in the quiet together. So, if you're comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes. And if that's not comfortable for you, if you're not in a place where you can do that, just find a spot on a chair in front of you or on the wall or the floor where you can soften your gaze. And you don't have to worry about anything. You can just invite this moment to be the most beautiful, perfect moment you have. Because when we really think about it, the only moments we have are the ones that are right here. That's it. So let's choose to make this moment that beautiful, amazing gift of life a moment of peace, a moment of love, a moment of connection, a moment of outpouring where we are the circulation. We begin the flow. And if you find your mind wants to wander off, let it. Let it go. Think of any thoughts that come up as if you're looking out a window and a car is driving by, and just allow the thought to move along. And if it helps, you can put your attention to your breath. And I invite you with your imagination to imagine you're looking inside yourself, this inner economy, this inner world. And as you're looking in, just have a moment to look at your heart space, the place where we carry the power of love, that power to harmonize, to create harmony within ourselves and in the world. And if it helps, you can place a hand over your heart space. And again, with our power of imagination, we can see this place within us where this harmony is created, and bringing our breath into that heart space. And if you're comfortable, you can take your other hand and place it just over your belly. Here we have both our order and our wisdom is right in this area. And if you give it, as you have your hand there, just give yourself a gentle uh, little push on your belly, just to wake it up. And with your imagination, imagine this connection between your heart space and your belly, which is your wisdom and your order, and how they are working together. to harmonize your life. Building within you the faith and the trust in these areas as another part of our intelligence. And just feel that connection. Imagine it. Knowing right now there's nothing to chase, there's nothing to prove. And with each breath, acknowledging that you are enough. And I invite you to silently affirm with me now. You can allow my words to be yours. I am the expression of love and life. All that I need is already within me. I give from my fullness and I receive with grace. And I invite us to take a few moments in the silence together, and I'll let you know when it's time to come back with these words echoing in your heart. According to your faith, let it be done. Or said another word, according to my faith, let it be done. Feel into that. And as you're ready, you can open your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. Hold it at the top and let it go. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for your presence. Namaste.
Thank you, Rev Thomas, for your meaningful, fascinating, and useful talk on the inner economy, abundance from the inside out. I wrote a whole full page of notes on this. I hope you can see that, my notes. Anyway, I just wanted to say really good information, lots of great takeaways. Pray as though what we're praying for is already done. And that just put my head on a little bit of a shift there. So thank you for doing that today. I really need my brain to shake it up a little bit once in a while. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And next, we have one fabulous final song from Jim.
it's right here where it should be. There's another one in my mind that just kind of maybe is more appropriate. And if it's not, then I'll do the one I planned because it was okay too. That's not it. And that's not it. And that's not it. Well, maybe it's not here. Well, I apologize for wasting your time like this. I cannot believe that it's not here. Okay, well then we're going to go back to the other one because it was okay too. Actually, it works too with what Rev Tom had to say because it's, and this is a request. Although the request was made a couple of months ago by a lady who's not here today, but that's okay. She wanted to hear a tune that she remembered from her childhood, and I did this a couple of years ago, I think. The same lady asked, made the request. I think this does fit with what Rev Tom said because it talks about looking ahead, acknowledging the bad things in life, but moving beyond them and keeping your eye on, well, just stand on the sunny side. There's a dark and a troubled side of life. There's a bright and a sunny side too. Though we meet with the darkness and strife, the sunny side we may also view. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day to brighten all the way. If we keep on the sunny side of life. Oh, the storm and its fury blew today, crushing hopes we cherish so dear. But the clouds and the storms in time will pass away, and the sun again will shine clear. So on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day. It will brighten all the way. If we keep on the sunny side of life, that's the way. Let us greet with a song of hope each day. Though the movies may be cloudy or fair, let us trust in spirit in all ways, to keep us everyone in tender care. And we should keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day, it will brighten all the way. We keep on the sunny side of life. If we keep on the sunny side of life.
Very great song, even though you couldn't find the one you wanted. That was an awesome song, just great. So thank you so much, Jam. This is a time for us to share our treasures with our spiritual community. As the blue bag goes around, please hold your hand over the bag and bless it before you pass it on. We affirm prosperity and abundance for Unity of London and all spiritual communities in all forms and in all realms, body, mind, and spirit. Jim's song is running through my head, so I'm sort of dancing up here as I'm singing, safe on the sunny side. And the ladies are finished, so thank you very much. We'll say our prosperity blessing together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And we have our announcements. The Sacred Circle today is still on, even though Chuck's not here. And that's happening from 12 to 1 in the room behind the fellowship room. And then we have our book study that started on September 9th, the new book, Wisdom of a Meaningful Life by John Bruna. And if you're interested in starting, it's not too late, so contact Lorraine at unityoflondon@hotmail.com. Another Wednesday combo, yay! Pasta dinner, choice of 2 sauces, garlic bread, vegetable and gluten-free, or sorry, I should say vegetarian and gluten-free available. And you get a salad, you get a dessert beverage for $15. And then following that up with a wonderful concert by Jim. So that's going to be on the October 22nd. The Soho Market is happening. I can't read that. Sunday, October 5th, 11 to 4. And we're looking for volunteers for setup and tear down. We're also looking for people to help out. Man the booth. We're selling used books and jewelry. If you have anything to donate, that would be great. So that's October 4th. It's actually during the service, so we'll try and work around that anyway. Introducing Unity, first Thursday of every month, 1:30 to 3 p.m. Bring a friend or find one. Just drop in for tea and cookies. First Thursday of every month, 33. Okay. And Wednesday music nights continue, September 24th, 7:30 to 9. Jim is presenting Sherry Lynn Koenig and Rob Moran. You can and Paul Mills. Okay, tickets available through Jim Chapman at Rogers.com, or you can buy at the door, $10. And we have to finish with our prayer for protection. So if you could read this with me. The light of God surrounds me. I am the light. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love. The power of God protects me. I am the power. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Yay, God. And then we get into a circle and sing our peace song. Okay, so we have one little change to our day. We're going to make it so that anybody who wants to leave before we start talking on Zoom and whatnot may leave now, or else if you would like to stay and have something to say about